Doing a little short video today. This is just going to be the pickups that we got from our trip to Tinley for the October Tinley show. So it's been a rough couple weeks for us, and including the trip to Tinley, my partner actually fell and broke her ankle. So we were dealing with that while we were in Chicago because that happened while we were there. So we ended up having to leave a little bit earlier. But that's okay. Saw some really cool people, met some interesting folks, saw our friends from, that part of the country, as well as learned a whole lot. So it was really fun, and we got a couple little pickups, not quite as many as we were hoping for because, things come up, but we'll just kind of burn through really quick. And apology if the camera's a little shaky. I don't know where my little gun is that I hold the camera when I'm doing these little POV videos, but without further ado, let's get started. So this first one is really, really cool. So yes, that's, so in here, these are the little quarantine tubs. For these two, I add a little sphagnum moss and a little paper towel. So right here, this is, which was recently highlighted in a video that I did, and I'll try to remember to put the tag right there. This is a green bush rat. This is in the same genus, it's Goyosoma, as the red-tailed rat snakes and the rhino rat snakes. These guys are really cool. They don't get very large. Their care is very similar to that of the rhino rat. Forgive the sphagnum moss, and you can see it came up with me with the little quarantine tub. I just put this in here for the time being just to kind of hold them. They actually have a few more things in here for their quarantine tubs, but just for the ease and simplicity of the video, here it is. So this girl, I should say, is really cool. Picked her up from Meta Exotics, met them, really, really cool. Possibly being on a podcast later, so we'll also have to see. It's just been non-stop, and I have had barely a chance to really continue with anything. So I have to readdress this in a minute. So I'm just going to put this back over here, and we'll keep on trucking along. So here we go. Here's another old world rat snake, also picked up from Meta Exotics. Ta-da! So here is a male Mandarin Rat snake, one of the most sought after and recognized snakes in the hobby. Really, really cool. I was trying to get a pair, but while I was trying to explain what we were doing, someone kind of snuck in and grabbed the female from me. And then Meta Exotics had an issue with their card reader. And so for 5 minutes, he just sat there just constantly glancing over because he knew what he did. But that's okay because, we met Meta Exotics. And hopefully they'll hook us up with a little female a little bit longer, a little bit later down the road. They usually actually hold on to these Mandarin rat snakes a little bit longer, but a few of them really took to food and got started very quickly. So these guys are doing really, really well in their little quarantine area. But I really like this guy. As I said before, the Mandarin rat snakes might be one of the best old world rat snakes for me. They're fairly hands-off, especially as kids. And they have very slow metabolisms. They don't like it super warm, so it'll be a really good fit for me. So we'll put this back over on top of him. Sorry, little guy. And then last of the snakes is this girl right here. This will be really, really cool. So we'll zoom in over here. So this girl, any guesses? Last chance. 3, 2, 1. That's right, this is a trans-Pecos rat snake, or the subocularis. They call them the subocularis because there's a really cool scale right behind their eye. So the ocularis, really, really cool. These guys are amazing little rat snakes from the southwestern part of the United States, mostly southwest Texas. And that's actually where this girl's from. She is captive bred, but she is of the Big Hill locality in Texas. Now, we have a male, which is why I decided to get her. The male is actually double het for a xanthic and blonde. She is not. She's just a pure locality animal. But to be completely honest with you, I really like just the plain looking subox. And I had a really good deal on our boy. And if I never produce a blonde or a xanthic down the road and I just produce just normal looking animals that all end up being possets down the road, totally fine with me, just because I really like this little snake. She's a little bit larger than our male, not by much, but that's okay because, we wanted to have a good size on him. But it'll be another few years before any of these three are actually going to be breeding. So I'm going to put this right back on here. And again, I will deal with actually refilling their tubs up in a second. Now, in addition to these guys, I did pick up a few other little kind of goodies. So one of which is this really cool poster by Tora Tiger Studio. You guys have probably seen their stuff around. You can see here, this is all the different hognose snakes of the world. Really, really cool, because I don't get to play with those here in Colorado. And I also picked up another really large poster right here. It's actually the second of another set, another series. It's a bunch of different reptile species. And I'll hang that up in the office, and one of these days I'll do like a full little video of all the different artwork and stuff that I have up. And then the last thing that I got was I got 3 more of these jungle cover Sure Sun LED UVA and UVB bulbs by VivTech. These guys are awesome. The 2-year warranty, these things last forever, an incredibly long life, as we know with UVB. Even if they say they last a year or so with the 12 on and off, we really have to start paying attention and metering them to make sure it is. So usually between 6 months and a year is about what we get for a 12-hour on-off cycle for our ultraviolet lights, even if it's still emitting light. These things will last a minimum of 2 years. They average more than 3. Super, super sturdy. You can even put them in the cages with multiple species. I have one of these things in with my AccuMonitor, and as anyone knows, AccuMonitors can be just as destructive as the full-sized ones, just on a little bit smaller of a level. Again, I apologize for the shakiness. I got 3 of these ones, and one is going to go onto our Eastern Indigo. Another one will be going on my Gastrophilus, which is actually right there. That's a little Gastrophilus. So that'll be a little one. And then the other one, I'm not quite sure where we're going to put that one, but I will eventually probably do a video on all of the little setups I do for those guys, featuring this amazing thing and how they actually are interacting and their habits and actions and behavior change when we have a really nice high quality ultraviolet A and ultraviolet B light bulb. Now, with that being said, these guys all need to go into quarantine, but as everyone probably knows at this point, I have a pretty fastidious quarantine procedures of what I do with things. And it has now finally come to the time where we finally got back all of our negative test results for the arenavirus and things like that, where everyone's been in quarantine for a very long period of time, some of them since February, as well as they are all looking really good, very healthy, eating fantastic, and they are all coming out of quarantine and moving to the main building, with the exception of one who will be moving into the tropical room. So that'll be another separate video that I'll do. Probably the next video that comes out will be all the animals that are moving out of quarantine that have been in quarantine for months and months and months. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video. We'll just kind of zoom out. As you can see, I'm doing this in my kitchen because the lighting in my quarantine room is absolutely atrocious. So that's why they're just kind of in my living room at the moment, not in the main snake building. So forgive my little countertop right there. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit shorter of a video, and then greatly look forward to seeing what else we've been kind of hiding away for the majority of this year, just making sure that they're all nice and healthy. Again, thank you. Like and subscribe if you can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll check you next time.